Hello, I'm Clara and I'm an intern at Vank. I'm going to present you in this video the 창덕궁 Palace in Seoul, which is one of the most beautiful palaces in Korea. The palace is the most well-preserved palace all of the royal palaces from the Joseon dynasty that lasted from 1392 to 1910. 창덕궁 Palace was built in 1405 by King Taejong, the third ruler of Joseon dynasty. The palace was built as a secondary palace after the Gyeongbokgung Palace. All palaces in Seoul were burned down during the Japanese invasion of 1592, and 창덕궁 Palace was the first palace to be rebuilt in 1610. Since then, it became the primary palace for about 260 years. King Sejong even said about the palace to his son, "Even though Gyeongbokgung Palace is splendid and magnificent, the ideal palace in the capital city is 창덕궁 Palace." The palace is situated at a hill without much flat land. Koreans built the palace in utilizing the irregular terrain instead of changing it. Different from a conventional palace architecture, the palace buildings were freely placed in the south on the flatland, and Hwon was formed in the north on the hill. 창덕궁 Palace is divided into four broad parts: the entrance part, which includes the main gate of the palace, the official area where kings worked, the private area where the royal family lived, and finally the garden called Hwon that accounts for 2/3 of the total grounds. Hwon is made in a way that allows nature to stay unchanged and uses the least artificial means. Hwon is composed with a small and simple pavilions and ponds. Do not overpower the nature, but are well harmonized with it, showing a feature of Korean palace architecture and landscaping that harmonizes with nature. 창덕궁 Palace complex was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage in 1997. If you want to visit the 창덕궁 Palace or any other palaces in Seoul, you can enter with no entrance fee if you wear hanbok, the traditional Korean clothes. You can rent hanbok in many shops around the palaces. I would highly recommend visiting Hwon, but you can only visit it with a group guided tour. On the English website, you can also reserve a tour of Hwon, also referred as the Secret Garden. You can check the official website of the palace to buy tickets. They are Korean and English tours, so don't worry about not understanding the guide. Please enjoy the beauty of 창덕궁 Palace and its history. Thank you.